How's it going, guys? Rob the Awesome here, and today I'm back to spending some more quality Team Fortress 2 time with you. This series takes questions from the previous episodes so that I may answer them here. It gives me a chance to talk a little bit more about myself while answering much needed questions that you guys may have about the game. I also ask a couple of questions at the end of the video, so stay tuned. It's something for everyone to enjoy. I also like to point out this is the only calm series I have. Nice and soothing to the ears. So sit back and relax, and let's get right into the questions, shall we? The first question of the day comes from that one guy, and he asks, if you could make a new weapon for any class, what would it be? And if not, what would you change about an existing weapon? I would change the third degree to not be complete garbage. Give it a mouse to ability like the Cowmangler where you can strike the ground and do massive damage in an AoE. I haven't really given it much thought, but all I know is that the third degree is useless and needs to be better than what it is now. Max the Scout TF2 wonders, if you could add one man versus machine enemy into the game, what would it be? What would it look like? And what would it do? Simple, a giant Vaccinator medic. I would love to see the strategies revolving around intense damage resistance on the robot's part. It's only fitting that they can absorb some of the damage too. We're at war here and the robots should use any means necessary to win. Aqua makes a comeback asking, which class does the role of picking high priority targets better? Sniper or Spy? I would say Sniper. You can pretty much kill anyone instantly at any range, whereas the Spy has to get up close and personal. People are often paranoid and check for spies regularly, whereas snipers are hardly perceived as threatening unless proven otherwise. Leonardo Wickman whips out the lore card, wondering, which out of the 9 classes has the most entertaining personality and the most interesting backstory? I've always been fond of the medic's personality and backstory. Even the new stuff that comes out always makes me laugh. He's just so crazy and wild, but in an interesting sense, a dangerous road that you just have to travel on. It's always a treat to know more about one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Keyblade Smasher asks a rather serious question, and he asks, red or blue, and why? I prefer blue. I'm not sure why, but I was always fond of this color. Red is more aggressive, while blue is just laid back and chill. It's easy on the eyes, and furthermore makes the best color for a variety of cosmetic loadouts in the game. Daniel Vo asks me, hey Robbie, do you think Heavy should get a buff? Normally, I'd be the first to say yes. However, with the way Valve buffed the Pyro, I'm not so sure anymore. The Heavy is essentially the Pyro with range and more HP. I would hate to see him get overbuffed like they did with the Pyro. Mooey wants an answer to his question, stating, what should I do if I'm bad at all 9 classes? TF2 is a game where experience shows. Keep practicing and sooner or later you'll find the perfect class for you. Dedicate the time to getting better and you'll see some vast improvements guaranteed. BH Games also wants to know, PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? Do you like to read? And if TF2 didn't exist, would you still do YouTube? PlayStation 4 all the way, baby. Yes, I do like to read from time to time, and as for the last question, it'll take a bit more effort to answer. If TF2 didn't exist, I think I would have found something else to do on YouTube, preferably more of a blogging channel where I answer some tough questions that people have for me. Sort of like this. However, I would have eventually strayed toward Twitch a bit more, acting towards being a variety streamer full time. In fact, that's what I'm going to be doing starting late April. I'll be playing a ton of games and hosting big events every single day. I'm glad to be able to do this, and that's where I would have gone if TF2 did not exist for me. Gabriel Sadidu asks, you know how the Spy and Energy both got extra slots for usable stuff? Well, if any other class could, which would it be? What would they have in it and why? Clearly the Heavy should benefit from having an extra slot. Make a lunchbox slot for edibles and have the secondary slot purely for shotguns. This would make shotguns more viable for the Heavy while having a mainstay sandwich for the rest of your team. Sandman Bonks, a friend of mine hates TF2. I'm trying to convince him to like the game. What do I say? Tell him to give the game a try. Even if it's just one try, I'm sure he will love the diverse aspect of the game itself. You can't really express TF2 without giving it a playthrough first. Afterwards, I'm sure he will love to continue the wackiness within. GX5 Metrics brings back the past, wondering, at one point, you were a sniper main. What was your favorite sniper rifle? I usually just went with the stock, super reliable and wasn't banned in competitive. It has every functionality at my disposal and doesn't have a downside for specific situations. I got used to it over everything else. Despite it not being as good as some of the others, I still managed to outdo a ton of snipers with it even to this day. Austin the Hottie comes over and asks, do you own a banana hat in real life? Unfortunately, no. However, I do have some people willing to make me one. So, in the future, I hope to obtain a banana hat to wear for myself. Aura Cypher wonders, do you think a water dispenser for Pyro would be interesting to see? A lot of people over the years have suggested some form of water weapon for the Pyro, one that would extinguish teammates with ease and push enemies back as sort of an area denial tool. However, water goes against everything that makes the Pyro a pyromaniac. I bet he's scared to death of something that kills his burning passion. For him to wield something filled with water would go against what the Pyro is all about. Super Nutty 77 calls upon me, asking, I enjoy using the Blutsauger, but how would you change it to be as viable as the crossbow? Let's go one step further, all of the syringe guns combined. One of the aspects that make the Crusaders a powerful weapon is that you can gain Ubercharge from it, no matter how small. I believe that if you gave the syringe guns the permanent ability to gain 1% Ubercharge from every syringe hit, you could solve a lot of the medic's overall problems. For example, the Uber Saw wouldn't be completely amazing anymore, since your primary can realistically achieve 25% Uber from a safe range in a matter of 3 seconds. The Crusaders would still be a top choice, however the Needlegun could prove useful as a contender. Lastly, it would play nicely with the Overdose's strengths, bettering the medic's arsenal indefinitely. Bird TF2 asks me, if you could add a new unusual effect to your loadout, in addition to the Tesla coil, what would it be? I would add abduction with my Tesla coil unusual. That would mean that I would have the spaceman on my loadout, creating the ultimate space banana loadout. The green with the intense purple would clash to form an icy blue center, with cows and electricity filling the outside space. The rings would contain the Tesla coil storm and make an incredible combination all the same. Sandvich Eat Fresh advertises, if you could add a killstreak / specialized killstreak kit to any weapon that doesn't already have one, what would it be? I would add one to the crossing guard. I'm still surprised they left that one untouched. The crossing guard is the closest thing to a polearm in this game, and boy do I love me a good polearm weapon. Give it the ability to have a professional killstreak, and we're in business. A name I can't possibly say to save my life wonders, what would you like to see in a medic update? Besides the syringe gun change I mentioned earlier in this video, I would love to see another metagun that doesn't relate to resistances and more so to aggressive playstyles. The Kritzkrieg is the only risk and reward metagun that thrives on aggressive damage. If we got another metagun like that, then the game would be a lot more interesting. Justernario keeps the question simple, making me choose peppermint or spearmint. I would go with spearmint. Peppermint is alright from time to time, but I never get bored of the spearmint flavor. Tycat asked me a question many are too afraid to ask. Will you move on to another game if the Pyro update fails? Well, the Pyro update has come and gone, and what a fitting question to have in this stage of the game. The Pyro update wasn't the worst update ever, but it was far from anything spectacular. Did the Pyro update fail a lot of people? Yes it did. A lot of people left, but what about me? I can guarantee that I won't be going anywhere else with my YouTube channel. This will be a purely dedicated TF2 channel, and that is that. However, there will be a lot going on in the future. This coming April, I'm going to be a full-time variety streamer, hosting a ton of events and giveaways every single day of the week. It's going to be time-consuming, and I will be creating a separate YouTube channel purely for highlights and notifications on when I go live. However, I will still be able to post TF2 content here at least once a week. It's going to be a heavy transition, but it's all for the best. TF2 just isn't the same as it once was, and I need to venture to other places along the way. I will continue to make hype TF2 content for as long as the game exists, and only that on this very channel. But my priority will lend itself towards the future of live streaming and the benefits within. Last but certainly not least, Star Nathaniel ends the question period with this very question. What's your favorite TF2 meme? And this has been some quality Team Fortress 2 time with you. But hold on just a second, you guys have been asking all the questions. It's only right that I ask some for you guys to answer for yourselves. What were your guys' thoughts on the Inferno update? Do you still enjoy TF2 even to this day? And would you rather live in the house of your dreams but it doesn't have internet access, or your current home for the rest of your life? Answer these questions in the comments below. Also, if you have a question for next time, don't be afraid to ask. I wouldn't mind spending some more quality Team Fortress 2 time with you guys again. Remember to be awesome, stay awesome, and to have an awesome day. I'm Rob the Awesome, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao for now.
Motherfucker, I'm awesome. No, you're not, dude. Don't lie. I'm awesome. I'm driving around in my mom's ride. I'm awesome. A quarter of my life gone by, and I met all my friends online. Motherfucker, I'm awesome. I will run away from a brawl. I'm awesome. There's no voicemail, nobody calls. I'm awesome. I can't afford to buy 8 balls, and I talk to myself on my Facebook wall. You know my pants sag low.